Greetings everybody, I hope you're having a nice day, afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, and you're enjoying yourselves and you're staying safe. Now today we do have not these bloody things again. What have I told you Rangers about playing with your goddamn mega... Well, thankfully the Megazords have finished fighting and they've taken down one of Rita's monstrosities, and today I can review this for you. Now it's finally here. This is the S.H Figuarts White Ranger. A very cool figure. This is the alternate version that has been released by Figuarts, which is to celebrate obviously 25 years of Power Rangers, hence the different art and everything on the box. And I must say, he comes with very unique features, mainly the one selling point being the alternate Tommy head sculpt, which does include an earring, which I thought was a nice touch. Now, this guy does have everything the other release of the White Ranger does, including Saba, obviously the connector points, where you can put him on the belt. Saba's very nicely detailed, and the fact that you can connect this all up, put that there, and you either have it in the belt or in the hand, I think is a really, really nice touch. Added to the fact you can take the helmet off, and if you wish to, you can have Tommy's head on display. Personally, for me, if I'm displaying a Ranger, I will keep the Ranger with the helmet on. So for me, it's a bit redundant, but it is nice to have the the extra posing option of having a Tommy head sculpt. Articulation-wise, yet again, Figuarts are on point. They're the same as the Dragon Ball figures. They're old hats at doing articulation on figures of this size by now. So the range of motion and everything you can get from this guy, yeah, is really, really cool. The range of motion, you can get some really, really cool poses. Now, the only thing I wish they would have included in this, personally, would have been some kind of, tiger palm, but they didn't include one, so it's a bit of a meh. But as you can see, you can really get some nice, cool animated poses out of this, and it really does feel like you've got the White Ranger in your hand, if you're so inclined to pose and mess around with them thusly. But for me, I display them on the shelf. So a lot of people say to me, well, why don't you just buy a statue? Well, that's because you're limited, to the one pose you can have. I buy articulated figures for the mere fact of, you've got different poses. But as you can see from there, he's highly detailed and he's highly posable. Now, the paint job, we just go in. Bum, 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 bum. We just go in. As you can see from here, they've done a really, really good job on the paint. The armour's on point. You can see the tiger emblem. The mask is really nice. All the details and everything on there, the little hints of gold. The black is nice and uniform. There's no bumps and marks and mistakes. The only thing I just find a bit odd is the off-white pearlescent paint job all throughout the body. But that's just one of those things. If they want to do a stylised version, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to hold it to them. I still see the White Ranger when I look at this figure. There is nothing wrong with that. And to get the whole team together, I think really, really will be cool. But obviously, when it comes to these kind of figures, you've got to remember, these are more of the true-to-scale Japan style 1/12 scale, okay? They're not like our Western variants. For instance, if I just bring along Lord Dracon. Yeah, he's a tad taller. Just a tad taller. So if you are thinking about maybe, mixing figures up, for instance, you're able to get a few Figuarts Rangers cheap, and you want to get a couple of the Lightning Collection series Rangers, yeah, scales a tad out. But my personal headcanon on the situation is, if I'm displaying those two together, which I do, they're right next to each other on the shelf, in my head I use them as, this is the teenage version of Tommy, that's obviously the evil older version of Tommy. So one is going to be younger and smaller. So that's my personal headcanon. But please be aware, if you are thinking of purchasing figures from two different ranges and you want to mix ranges, they're not going to scale. Fortunately, it's just one of those things. But with the extra accessories, I said we'll go through the other little bits that come here. It's got all these interchangeable hands, although like I said, for some reason, I don't know why they didn't include, a tiger pose hand, but he's got the different gripping hands. couple of fist hands. There's almost a hand there that probably would fit one of the blasters. But it didn't come on the blaster, so I'm a tad confused why it didn't come on the blaster. But if you're looking for what you could say one of the high-end Power Ranger figures that you can get on the market, I'll definitely look no further than the You've Got the Power 25th Anniversary Edition of the White Ranger. It would fit with any of the other Bandai line, and is definitely a good representation. But like I said, if you are looking mainly for the gimmick, and let's all be honest, we all know what the gimmick was with this guy. This was the gimmick. It's a very cool gimmick. So if you are going to display some of your Rangers from the the version 2s that came all with the head sculpts, then go for it. But if you're just looking for a Ranger in general, personally, my own personal review, on this and the situation with the figure, if you're looking for a Ranger figure and you're looking for a cheap one, and you don't want to go into the figure arts, for instance this type of Ranger here, I would go with the Lightning Collection. They are White Ranger, even though I don't own one personally. If he's anything like the Lord Drakkon I've got, he would be very comparable. He's got similar, modes of display, pivots, joints and everything. I do believe he comes with Saba as well, although I don't think he comes with a blaster pistol. But he is comparable, he's just a little bit bigger in size. So if you're on a tight budget and you are thinking about getting a Ranger, I would go with the Lightning series or Lightning Collection personally. But if you're one of the purists, and you have to have figure arts, everything's got to be figure arts. It's not me bashing figure arts, you just, we're all collectors. I collect all sorts of different things. I've got, McFarlane, NECA, Movie Maniacs, which were the old McFarlane stuff before they turned to McFarlane, I've got the figure arts, Lightning series, Hot Toys, third party stuff. I don't really stick to one brand. I collect all sorts of stuff. So, but if you're one of the purists out there that love, just figure arts on their own, then look no further. This will be the penultimate White Ranger figure for your collection. And hopefully down the line, maybe they'll do a few reissues where they fix some of the scale issues, and maybe they include the Ranger blaster that will come with it. And also fix one of the glaring things that does annoy me with Ranger figures. Drakkon's got it right, but there's no morpher on his belt. That really bugs me. Because when I remember the White Ranger in the suit, he always had the morpher on display. But it's one of them. It's not a deal breaker for me, but if you're one of those purists, like I said, that likes to have everything on point, then that may set you back a bit. But anyway, this is a very short review on the Figure Arts White Ranger. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I said, when it comes to the Power Ranger lore and stuff, I can be a little bit off kilter because I grew up remembering, Mighty Morphin, and I believe somewhere along the line I come across Wild Force. So apart from a bit of the comics lore I know, when it comes to all this new stuff that's come out where you've got Tommy is a Black Ranger now and all this other stuff, and there's all these weird, Master Morphers and things. I've only heard the names, don't know the stories, don't know the lore. So when it comes to the majority of figures and things, I don't really know what they are anymore. I'd have to brush up on them. But when it comes to the base stuff, for instance, like we all know who this guy is. I'd love to get hold of a Green Ranger just to compare, to see what they look like. I'd also like to get hold of maybe the Lightning Collection White Ranger and maybe do a face-off between the two. So we'd have the figure arts versus the Lightning Collection just to see how they, truly scale to each other, the accessories, the joints and everything else. But yeah, anyway, off topic. End of the review. Hopefully you're having a nice time where you are, and obviously you're staying safe, because as we all keep hearing on the news, these are amazing, strange times, yada yada yada. Who else is sick to that? I mean, my day job's retail. I'm sick to death of hearing it. Yeah, I am sick to death of it now. I am so over this virus. I am done. Anyway, hopefully you're staying safe where you are. Remember, from my family to your family, much love as always, and stay tuned for the next figure review.